¿Quién falta por tomarse la foto? Falto yo, voy.
So, what's up with faltar? I see this verb creating havoc in students all the time. It's a weird verb indeed. Also, it's irregular and it can be reflexive. Not to worry though, because you can take all the chunks from this video and start using it right now. I'm Maura from Spring Spanish and I'm ready to help you start using this verb with confidence. Empecemos. Número 1. Faltar con yo.
Carla, falta poco para salir, ¿cómo vas? No me falta nada, pero no consigo mis zarcillos. Agarra unos de mi gaveta. Es que tengo uno, pero me falta el otro y no sé dónde está.
So the main idea with faltar is that someone or something is missing. That's why you can hear things like, porfa pasa por el súper porque me faltan un montón de cosas para la cena. Me falta un zarcillo. We can talk about time in this way too. As a matter of fact, this is our quintessential verb to say things like, me falta poco. This will always refer to how much more time somebody needs to finish or to be ready.
Me faltan horas de camino aún, así que llegaré tarde.
Notice how falta is singular and faltan is plural. The conjugation for faltar isn't all that crazy. We'll go over a little table at the end of the video so you can see it more clearly. Junk alert! How would you use ¿cómo vas? Let's see it again in the dialogue.
Carla, falta poco para salir, ¿cómo vas? No me falta nada, pero no consigo mis zarcillos.
This little chunk has at least 3 different meanings. It can mean, ¿qué tal, Maura? ¿Cómo vas? Here, it basically means, how are you? Yo creo que me voy en taxi. ¿Tú cómo vas? Here, it means, how are you getting to some place? Yo estoy casi lista. ¿Tú cómo vas? Here, it's like in the dialogue. It means, how is your process going? The process of getting ready, in this case. Before we move on, make sure you've already clicked that link in the description. Only because it gives you access to our free Essential Spanish Chunking Kit, and you wouldn't want to miss on that, would you? I mean, it's free. Número 2. Faltar con tú.
Si te falta uno, te faltan dos, porque no te vas a poner uno solo. Agarra de los míos. Lo que te faltaba. Ahora, aparte de nerviosa, te vas a estresar. Cállate, es que tú siempre te tardas y a mí me falta paciencia para eso. Yo sé, igual tienes razón, no está bien llegar tarde.
Think about feelings as also things you might lack with faltar. You can say, te faltan ganas de lidiar con esta situación, por eso lo estás evitando. Yo no creo que seas mala en tenis. Solo te falta experiencia. Alex said, lo que te faltaba. It would take serious insider knowledge to get what this means, especially because the English translation doesn't help much. This chunk will usually be a type of complaint and the meaning is kinda negative. It's always about, things were already hard and now this. Falta poco is a great chunk to learn with faltar because we use it in many situations that are all super common. For example, falta poco para salir, apúrate. Hacer un máster no es fácil, pero ya falta poco. Yo sé que tienen hambre, aguanten que falta poco. Número 3. Faltar con él, ella, usted, eso.
Amanda me dice que la reserva es para 6. Pero falta alguien, ¿no?
¿Qué? ¿Por qué?
O sea, tú, yo, ellos 3. ¿Y quién es la sexta persona? Falta que sea el tipo con el que está saliendo. ¡Claro! ¿Y qué importa? Que ese tipo no habla ni español ni mucho inglés. Yo no sé qué idioma vamos a hablar en esa mesa.
Falta que sea el tipo con el que está saliendo. This is a great example of what we were discussing in the previous section. Again, this falta helps you complain about a situation that was already unfavorable and now it has gotten worse. You don't need to put those little me, te, le in front of faltar every time. The most common time when you won't need them is when you're talking in general about something or someone missing. Meaning, when saying who is missing the thing isn't important. For example, falta Mauricio. We don't need to say that it's us who are missing Mauricio. So you can use falta by itself. Falta azúcar. Here we just know we need sugar for something. The something isn't important. If I say, le falta azúcar, you would need to know what's missing sugar specifically. Like something we're cooking, for example. Though it might feel weird, don't hesitate to use this about people, like we did in the dialogue. ¿Quién falta? Another common chunk to use when, for example, something's being distributed, like cake at a birthday party. If you want to know who doesn't have cake yet, you can ask, ¿Quién falta? Número 4. Faltar con nosotros, nosotras.
Hola, ¿tú crees que puedas llevar el vino por nosotras y yo te transfiero el dinero? Es que todavía nos falta un poquito para salir. Faltaba más, claro. Justo iba a comprar lo que yo iba a llevar, así que sin problema. Buenísimo, mil gracias. Yo no sé cómo se nos hizo tan tarde, y mira que faltamos a clases de yoga para tener suficiente tiempo. Por eso es que se confiaron, eso siempre pasa.
That faltaba más from the dialogue is impossible to translate. Think about it as a very emphatic of course that you can use when you're being asked for a favor. Another thing faltar is the quintessential verb for is saying you skipped a class. Things like, nosotras nunca faltamos a clases de chiquitas. Siempre que faltamos a yoga nos sentimos culpables. Notice how, to talk about missing classes, we don't use the reflexive faltar. So you wouldn't need nos, me, te, or any of those pronouns for this use. Número 5. Faltar con ustedes, ellos, ellas.
Ya lista. Amanda dice, si ustedes faltan, yo me voy. ¡No! ¡Qué loca! Ya estoy. 10 minutos tarde nada más. Tampoco es una gran falta. Es verdad, pero nos tuviste en tensión hasta el último minuto. Lo sé, lo siento. Falta llamar al taxi y ya. Yo lo hago.
The last thing that you should know is that una falta can also be a noun. It can work as a synonym for error. Actually, it's probably one of the most common words you'll hear at a football game. Not that I would know, though. Número 6. Tablas para faltar. Now for those little tables you're only supposed to use as a guide. Take into account that with faltar you do have two different options, either reflexive or non-reflexive. Here's the non-reflexive table. Yo falto por torta. Tú faltas por pedir. Falta esa pared por pintar. Faltamos a clases una sola vez. Llegamos, solo faltan ustedes. And another table for conjugating the reflexive version of faltar. Me faltan 3 preguntas para terminar el examen. Te falta una sentadilla nada más. Tú puedes. Faltan huevos y avena para hacer las galletas. Nos falta Mauricio para estar todos completos. Les faltan 2 horas para llegar. Summary. Let's review all of the uses we covered in this video with some examples. Faltar for time. Ya casi, falta poco. Faltar to mean missing or lacking. A esto le falta sal. Faltar with people. Nos falta una persona para completar el equipo. Faltar for classes or things you attend regularly. Yo nunca falto a clases. There are many more confusing verbs in Spanish. Luckily, we've made an entire playlist of the verbs we've covered for you to have them all in one place. Click the image on the screen and continue deciphering Spanish verbs with us. Nos vemos allá!